folks.
Welcome.
Welcome, and thanks for being so patient. We lost our beloved kitty cat Chloe a few days ago, unexpectedly, and so we needed to take a little breather, take some time to breathe, actually, and here we are now on Sunday.
So we should toast to the first responders?
Yes, to the first responders, everyone helping to keep us going. So.
I also want to take a moment to recognize what a very tender and brutal and horrifying moment this is, but also very hopeful. I feel like there are a lot of voices right now that have been marginalized, a lot of Black voices that are finally being heard and really listened to. And I get this feeling, this collective feeling, and also personally, that people are really looking within and figuring out like how to be a better ally.
And that feels like the beginning of change.
Yeah. So here is to that. Everybody who's out there protesting. Start with an angry song. You know.
Why not?
A song I wrote when I was angry. So yeah, that makes it an angry song. Ready?
Yes.
Sinking, train a ringing bell in vain. My heart it is sore, pounding, so pounding. Sweet against my skin, watching tornadoes spin about that I love you. It keeps me close to. And the flame was high to the top of the sky. We on the patio with our very special guest tonight, Jenny Conlee and Courtenay Hameister. I'd say in the house, but they're not.
Safely distanced, of course, to be joining us fairly soon. A big hello to any listeners from Jefferson Public Radio down in Ashland, Oregon. They are our co-presenters this evening, so thanks to them. Thanks to Eric Teal, fine station, really good supporters of live music that comes through down that way. So, hey, we're gonna do a somewhat nonsensical old-time song set in Prohibition era. North Carolina. It's called Raleigh and Spencer.
You call it a what? A nonsensical what?
Nonsensical old-time song.
Is it?
It kind of is.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure there's plenty of symbolism in it, but it's talking about the towns of Raleigh and Spencer and a song stolen from the great Tommy Jarrell. Old-time musicians out there probably know that name. Here we go. Are burning down. Oh, there ain't no liquor in town. There ain't no liquor in town. And what you gonna do to wet those lips when this whole darn world's gone dry? This whole darn world's gone dry. I've been all around this whole wide world. I've been down to Memphis, Tennessee. I've been down to Memphis, Tennessee. And I played cards with the king and the queen. I shut them dice with old Jesse James. Shut them dice with old Jesse James. Well, I pawn my shoes for a bottle of booze. I'll drink it, I lay down and die. I'll drink it, I lay down and die. You can stomp down the flowers that grow around my grave, but they'll rise and bloom again. Oh, they'll rise rise and move again. O'Reilly and Spencer are burning down, for there ain't no liquor in town. Yeah, there ain't no liquor in town. Oh, there ain't no liquor in town. Yeah, there ain't no liquor in town. Oh, yes. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. The drum. I see what's next. Okay.
You say that with like, I don't know, fear?
It's just a sad song.
It's a sad song.
It's a sad song.
I see what's next.
Can I have a
See
look
what's
here?
coming. It is not good.
Let me
What's
see
that?
who's saying hello to us.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Not
Julie
maybe.
Resnick.
Julie
What's
Resnick.
going on, Julie?
Hey. That is a good name and a good person.
There's a bunch of hellos, and that's really nice. And I see a lot of names. I know Cronda's out there. What's up, Cronda?
Rhonda. Another very good person.
Yes.
Is that loud enough?
What's up, Mike Klaus? Good to see you out there, too. We're going to do a song that I wrote after my father passed away.
Only good news here.
Yes.
I didn't mean to make a joke of something so
I know.
important. Sorry.
It's called Ashes of a Man. That's all I'm going to say.
It's
Let's see if we
beautiful.
get through it.
Okay.
Am I in tune with you? I don't think I am.
It's good enough for rock and roll, as they say.
So close. Okay. Here I go again, sifting through ashes of what you were, the man that I knew, strong as you with a gentleman's curse. Your life like the wind disappears in the night, with no one to save, nothing to fight. They say I got your eyes in the way of your hands. All that remains are the ashes of man. Piece of you, it just wouldn't burn when we said goodbye. Sound of your voice, like the fire in your heart and the light in your eye. You're left like the wind disappears in the night, with no one to save, nothing to fight. They say I got your eyes in the way of your hands. All that remains are the ashes of man.
We are so excited about our musical guest. She is outside right now. On Instagram, you're coming with me. They're going to flash. Jenny, are you ready out there? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Jenny Conlee. She is one of the best musicians in, well, more than just Portland, but she's so well known in Portland. And she's well known for many groups, including Black Prairie and the Decemberists, and her very own Jenny Conlee Quartet, the GCQ as she calls it. So here she is, just 1 second.
Oh, here comes the other camera. Hi, Tony. You guys sound really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just you back there. You can probably, if you want to, have your mouth available.
Well, I told her to have her mask.
I came over here and I was like, I don't know. Everyone's.
Is this blocking anything?
I'm going to make sure. I'm going to watch.
This is good.
You're looking good, looking good.
Is that okay? It's kind of like funny, like this is in a place where
I got you. I got you. Just a little bit in the way.
So I'm playing in front of a lot of devices. Thanks for having me.
Lots of devices.
I appreciate the opportunity to play a live
Thank you
show
for being here.
in quarantine.
Woohoo!
I'm going to play 2 accordion jams back to back. One is from my record, from the soundtrack I did for a movie called Voyages Without Trace. My record's called French Kayaking Music. It's called Traveling, and then the other tune is called Jen and Roy, which is 2 characters from the film. This piece was not on the record or in the movie, but inspired by them. So, here we go.
most of the time there's just like stark silence after songs.
I mean,
And
usually
your brain
it's
is-
like someone's clinking a wine glass or something,
I
and
see
this
what you
is
mean.
like just music for music's sake. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll see you later
You
around
will.
the side of the house.
Yes, you will see her later
Yeah.
at the window.
Yeah, out the window. Bye, guys. I'm going to make my way around the side of the house. Like this way.
Oh, there she goes. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good.
So good.
Uh-oh. Bam. There we go.
Okay, how is this there? Can both the windows be
Let me
seen?
get, we want a little bit more of stage right. I think you got it.
Stage right.
The stage
It's
right
like making me
window.
laugh that I understand. Is that better?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel pretty confident that it's good.
Good. All right, yeah.
That was fun.
I've been to these are like very COVID-19 glasses because they're epoxied.
Yep.
Like you could see
PC7
they're
epoxy is what I used on
super
those.
glued. Well, they're epoxied and super glued and super crooked, but whatever. And they don't work either. They're like the wrong prescription at this point. But what are you gonna do? Go to the eye doctor? Nope. I need louder.
Yeah, turn it louder. It's weird. It sounds quiet.
I know, doesn't it? How's that?
I think it's okay.
Okay. No more fierce blue eyes, no more last goodbyes, no more patronizing. No more alibis, no more do or dies, or snakes up in the skies. No more salty blues, saying I love you, like a stone turning to sand in my hands. No more wrong rights, no more hateful fights on those beaten nights, steeped in pain. No more crying eyes, or wasted lives, no more sharpened knives twisted in vain. No more salty blues, saying I love you, like a stone turning to sand in my hands. No more midnight fires, no last desires, no walking on the wires every day. No more final pleas, no remedies, no last call for injuries, 'cause you'd walk away. No more storms to pass on broken glass, with our hearts out in our hands, like stones turning to sands. No more great mistakes, no constant heartaches, no more breaks into, oh yeah, when all is said and done, we were lost and nobody won, 'cause I backseat blues, saying I love you. This stone has turned to sand in my heart and in my hand. Oh,
Hey, I think we got a special guest coming up at the window here.
Yay.
Hey, what's going on?
I was just running around the house and I was wondering if maybe I could play a song with you guys.
I sure wish you would. There's like an element of Pee-wee's Playhouse to this or something.
What is that?
It's like Pee-wee's
Oh, there's like
Playhouse.
that how buzzy
Let's
thing
get
happening.
this.
Stephanie, that was so beautiful, and you should
Aw.
talk to Courtney about her. She has an emotional history with that song.
Does she? Oh,
Oh my God,
I
it's
kind of
great.
Maybe remember something with it. There's like a buzz, a hum. Do you hear it?
I hear the
there's
hum.
a low hum. Actually,
A
there's
There's
a
a
low
low hum
hum.
of like melancholy when you sing that song.
No, I mean like right now. There's a low hum.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is with it?
What is that?
Makes it.
Oh, you know what? That monitor has flipped up instead of this way.
Yeah, maybe that's
creating a feedback
Thank
scenario.
you. Yeah. Something changed. Is that
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, you get to see all the backstage stuff here. So.
Backstage. This is front stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Front stage.
It is not intended to be a really slick show. By the way,
That's better.
I think we'd like to,
Talk about the wine.
talk about the wine sponsor.
Let me,
The sponsor tonight.
We have such a wonderful sponsor tonight. We are sponsored tonight by Matzinger Davis Wine Company, which is comprised of a married couple named Anna and Michael, and they are a husband and wife team. Anna is from Idaho, Michael is from New Zealand, and they came to Oregon 20 years ago with backpacks on their backs to work the harvest in 1999 and learn how to make some of the very best Pinot Noir in the whole world.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And separately, they've spent many years making wine in other people's cellars internationally and for really big wineries here in Portland. And back in 2006, they came together to work creatively together and in a business, to start a business. And they started Matzinger Davies Wine, and they're just lovely, thoughtful, and the wine is superb. So to Matzinger Davies Wine Company, thank you for sponsoring us.
Oh, yes. Cheers. All right, we're going to do now a song I learned from listening to a guy named Mick Hanley, who is an Irish singer-songwriter from Ireland.
It's an Irish singer-songwriter, ironically from Australia.
He took an old American poem and put it to a beautiful melody, and it's called The Ballad of Jack Haggerty. It goes like this. Heartbroken raftsman from Greenville I came. All my virtues departed with the last I did feign. From the strong darts of Cupid I've suffered much grief. My heart's broke asunder, I can get no relief. Of my trouble I'll tell you without much delay. Of a sweet little lassie my heart stole away. Blacksmith's fair daughter on the flat river side. I always intended to make her mine. I worked on the river where the white waters roar. My name I've engraved on the high rocky shore. I'm the boy that stands happy on the dark birdie stream, but my thoughts are on Molly, she haunted my dreams. I gave her fine jewels, blood-letting river. I am very well known. Where they call me Jack Haggerty, the pride of the Jane Tucker, kindly of the blame. She caused them to leave and go back on my name. And it cast off the riggings if that was a tie. And it leave me around till the day that I die. So to all you bold raftsmen with hearts that are true, don't trust to a woman, you beat if you do. Should make one with a dark judgment crew. Remember Jack Haggerty and the Flat River. So close.
Perfect. We still had a great time. Yes.
I had a great time.
Yes.
Oh yes, sorry. Let me undo this.
This is going to be the night of waltzes.
Night of waltzes. I might even add another. You know.
Oh, is there?
No, I won't.
Okay.
You guys, it's a very active night tonight in the skies outside your home.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of helicopters.
Helicopters.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's a Black Lives Matter moment.
Yes.
We're,
Wow.
We're right in the middle of it right
That's
here.
heavy.
It's super,
That's right.
And it's rad. And we're...
Because is there a rally like right up
I think there is, right up the street.
the street?
Yeah.
Wow.
Last night it was at Irving.
Yeah, right here. Right?
Right here. Helicopters.
With the helicopter sounds. It's hard to ignore.
Cue the helicopters. This song is a good song with helicopters. It works good. This is a song off of my new album, and it's a song about motherhood. Actually, I wrote this when we came home with Liam from the hospital. It was raining. It was very rainy, and then I brought this to. I started it, I should say. I brought this to the Swan Sovereign girls, McKinley and Lara, and they helped me finish it. And we co-wrote this together. This is called Love Hum, which is funny because there's a love hum happening right now.
Yes,
You hear
there
it?
is. I hear it.
I think it's that monitor. We could fix it. Let me fix it. I'm gonna bring the monitor
turn
down.
it like-
It's
tiny
possible
bit
that,
that
I
way.
have Stephanie's microphone super loud in there, so
Oh, yeah, maybe.
it's possible that she's feeding back. I like hearing her really loud.
Is that a little better? Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you. It's great.
Okay, good. Yeah, here it is. Considering you won't ever give out, you won't ever give in. You're the low hum that I constantly sing, that I constantly ring. All that I wanted and all that I need, I wouldn't trade a thing. Heart is so full I could lift a dream. When your eyes come back noise, sounds going on outside.
So much intensity in that music.
So we have a very special window guest on the other side.
Oh,
Courtney, please welcome.
Hey.
Author,
Right there.
screenwriter,
Let's
playwright.
unmute her. Hold on. Let me unmute her.
She's 4.
I thought she was
many.
She is this many.
Oh boy.
Please welcome. I'm going to say it again. Author, playwright, screenwriter,
Oh my gosh.
Courtney, storyteller,
Oh,
Courtenay Hameister. She authored a book called Okay, Fine, Whatever, and it is so good.
Thank you.
So good. It
Thank
killed
you.
me. I died a little inside.
Did you? that wasn't my goal.
It was so
weirdly.
good. It was
Yeah,
good.
that wasn't what I was
Killed
going
me
for.
softly. Is it?
Right. So yeah, did you already warn the audience that there's maybe
It's not
a
really-
swear in this?
We won't say that it's adult material, but there is a swear word.
There is a
So
swear
a
in it.
fun game, if children are watching, is to find
And
where
I'm
the
gonna
swear
have,
word is. It's fun.
Right.
It's a swear word.
But it's
Just
a bad
one.
swear, but
One.
I'm also gonna try to like almost bleep myself. But it might be a fun game just to like watch with the kids and be like, can you spot the swear? Like that could be a fun game if you wanted to do that.
I feel like we can handle it. That's
Right.
my gut feeling.
Right. So yeah, I have this story really comes from nowhere, and it's certainly not a timely story. I would just call this maybe a palate cleanser, sort of a story. So for a long time I was a freelance writer, and when you're a freelance writer, there's really kind of, from the outside, there's no discernible difference between freelance writing and clinical depression, because you're just like in your sweats and a scrunchie, questioning every choice you ever made in your life, all day long. There are helicopters
Oh, come on.
here right now, and
Wow.
some people
Yeah, this is
some people
scary.
talking. Anyway, so there's that part of it, right? There's the kind of clinical depression part of it, and I also kind of have a food addiction issue, and so that makes it very difficult if you're a freelance writer, because there's nobody like at the office to like shame you into eating well. Like, you know those ladies who are just like, oh my god, I went out with my boyfriend last night and I ate like 4 of his fries because I'm bad. And you're just like, in your head, you're going, that entire bag of tater tots I had for lunch, not a good choice, apparently. So that part of it's bad. And then also, like if you're a writer, you may be familiar with this other thing that I have called crippling self-doubt. So you just roll all that stuff together, and it's just not that healthy. So yeah, I would be writing, and I would think, I didn't finish college, and everyone I'm sort of competing with has an MFA, and what that brings about are these things called feelings. You start having some feelings about that. And so what I would do is I would get up from the couch, and I would go down to the kitchen, and I'd get some what I like to call feelings killers. And it's really like any carb works, chips work, chocolate, candy. And in this case, it was near Halloween. And I had bought these things, not even to give away. This happens a lot. But they're called celebrations. And I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're these tiny little candy bars. They're like a quarter of the size of a fun-size candy bar. But they're still super fun. And it's all the good candies, right? It's like Milky Ways and Twix and Snickers. And there are also 3 Musketeers in there. And I don't want to make you feel bad or start a fight, but 3 Musketeers are garbage candy. And it's because it's just nougat. Like, nougat is, it's the Craig T. Nelson of candy. And what I mean by that, I used to say it was the Steve Buscemi of candy, but then he did a really good job as a lead in Boardwalk Empire. It does an amazing job in a supporting role. Like, I love its work in Milky Way and Snickers, but it shouldn't be the star of the show. Like, I'm not going to pay full price to just see Milky Way star in a show. So during the course of the day, of course, I eat all the other celebrations except for the Milky Ways. And they're just sitting there on the table, and I'm looking at them, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to eat these because I know that I don't even like them. So I just picked them up and I walked to the kitchen and I threw them away. And because it's just like, oh, I'm not going to just start eating garbage out of nowhere. And what tends to happen, right, is that you just start they start sort of talking to you, right? They're just like, hey, you know what? It's just like 15 calories. It's like, if you ate all three of us, it'd be like you ate an apple. It would be really similar to just eating an apple. So you should just eat the apple. Why don't you eat the apple? And also, you're not really a writer. Like, you're not a real writer. So and I'm not proud of this, but I went to the garbage and I took them out. And I washed the coffee grounds off of them, and I stood there looking at them on the kitchen counter, and I was like, you know what? I can't. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm not. The weird thing about food issues, if you struggle with food issues, like, a lot of times your self-worth is totally connected to, like, what you put in your body, right? So if I ran and saved a baby from a burning building and I had the baby in one hand, but I was, like, eating a cruller with the other hand, they would cancel each other out. Like, that's what it feels like, right? So I'm just like, I'm not going to eat something that's going to make me feel like garbage, right? And that I don't even like. So I threw them onto the ground and I, like, smushed them. And I just smushed them with my heel, right? I just smushed them as much as I possibly could. And I felt pretty good about that. Like, I could just picture that nougat just, like, you know, squeezing out the sides. And I threw them back in the trash. And I felt pretty good. Like, I walked back and I started writing again. And I was just like, you know what? I was pretty strong there. Like, I deserve a treat. Damn, you know, like, whoa. But it was fine. Like, I was just like, and then they start sort of, like, saying again, like, you know, I mean, you know physics, like, you know that we've just slightly changed shape. It's all the same good stuff is in there. It's just like we're flattened, you know. So it'd still be fine. So I found myself at the trash again, and I washed them off again, and I was standing over the sink, and I just thought, I just can't do this anymore. So this has to just remain between us, right? And it just stay in this room, and also the internet. It has to stay in the internet. But I feel like I did the only thing I possibly could have done to stop myself from eating them. And I think, we all know what it was. I put them down my pants. So I was wearing yoga pants that, let's be honest, like, I never wore to a yoga class, but I pulled open the back of my yoga pants, and I kind of just shoved them down between my underwear and my butt. But then I was like, this isn't gross enough. Like, I need to make them so gross. So I kind of shoved them in the crack a little bit as much as I could. And if you've done this, then you know they're surprisingly sharp. Like, it feels like it has sharp edges, like, on the wrapper. And I was like, this is a lot more uncomfortable than I thought it was going to be. And then. But I did feel, like, victorious, right? So I kind of, in combination of, like, a little victory dance and also just wanting to get as much butt on them as possible, I just kind of moved my butt around a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I win. Like, I am a strong woman. I'm powerful, and I just sort of wallowed in this victory for, like, a third of a second before I realized I am standing in my kitchen with candy down my pants. And that felt less victorious. Like, it felt like I was like, how is it that I'm, like, so terrified of the worst candy bar, like, in the world, that I had to go through all of this. And I can't really, like, I can't really tell you that I've sort of won this battle. And the thing is, like, I won the battle that day. Like, I just put on some gloves, and I reached in there and I threw them out again. And here's the thing that I also shouldn't tell you. There was a part of my brain that said, they're still wrapped. Like, technically they're still wrapped. So really, this is how bad it is. Anyway, the point is, I finally I threw them out, and I went to the outside garbage can, so I couldn't hear them anymore. And so there's really not a lot of point to this story, except to say that there has been some talk recently about fat shaming, and there's a lot more important things to worry about right now than fat shaming, but it's a thing, right? And so I just want to say that if you go to the grocery store and you see a person who's heavier, and you look at their cart, and you might see some ho-hos in there, and you might see a bag of tater tots that they're planning to eat as fourth meal. And you might say to yourself, she's not even trying. I would like to respond by saying, you have no fucking idea. That's it. Thank you very much. I'm never gonna live that down. Have a pleasant evening.
Hameister.
That was so good.
Thank you for that.
Give it up to
Story.
Courtenay Hameister. Woo!
How do you follow that? I think with banjo.
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 I just want to mention to Instagrammers, because we have 2 cameras set up, and one is to Facebook and YouTube, and then Instagram.
We should probably do the reset right now.
Yeah, so we have to reset, or you will get cut off.
So yeah, let's
So
do that right
let's
now.
do the
Take a
reset.
second.
And then we have 2 more songs. One of them is a song that I'm going to sing that's also on
Well-
the new album. And then the other song is a big sing-along to end this show. And we just want to make sure you guys are along for the ride. So we could do this song and then reset it.
Let's reset it now. But before we do that, I would like to mention that I'm going to make sure that the PayPal and Venmo is up there.
Yes.
We this show is free, obviously, but if you feel like tipping, that's really wonderful. And we're going to send a third of our tips this evening to the NAACP. So just want to mention that. Okay. Let me flash
Here's the
that
thing:
out here.
it's I'm not savvy. I'm not gonna lie. So this might look funny, and it might be funny.
It might be
hold
funny.
on one second.
It's okay. Funny is okay.
Because I'm not sure actually how to end it. There we go. End, and then we'll restart it. I'm very crooked. So hopefully you'll come back, all of you Instagrammers.
Yeah, come on back.
And live video. Here we go. We'll see you in a second.
Yeah, and while we do that, I'm going to make sure I'm in the right
So here
key.
we go. All right.
And after this, we're going to get special guests back here, as well as another special guest to help us with the last song. And we are not going to be here next Thursday. We will be here the Thursday after. And our special guests will be the wonderful Edna Vasquez, of Pink Martini and Steve Berlin of Los Lobos. And it's going to be just a fun night. And that's the 18th, is that right?
Thursday. We'll be on Thursday. So did I do that correctly? Is it on?
I believe you're live. Looks like you're live.
All right.
You want to make sure? Take another peek.
It's just the worst to get like. Yeah. Hey, Sally Ann. She may join. Okay.
That's why. Just look at my strings. That's what was going on. I wish you could see that. I used the capo in a very creative manner. All the strings are like. It's like, why is it out of tune?
So we'd love to invite.
You start opening up windows.
Our window guests to come for this very last tune.
Hey there.
Thanks, Tony, for opening one more
Can you
song.
hand me my
Let me
drum?
get our.
This is one more sing-along to end the show.
Get the drum.
Yay! Courtney's back. Good.
Oops.
Jurassic Park in here. So
Actually, literally,
we'd like to
Did you
thank.
see his shirt?
Oh yeah, it is very Jurassic. We'd like to thank our very special guests, Courtenay Hameister,
Woo!
Jenny Conlee,
Woo!
and oh yeah, you got it. Okay, and please make welcome, Liam Furtado.
Woo! If you didn't sing along yet, this is your chance.
One more big thank you to our wine sponsor, Matt Singer Davis Wine Company, and
Jefferson
to
Public
Jefferson
Radio.
Public Radio.
And our good buddy Josh Orchard for always giving us a hand with the tech stuff. All right, little Beatles.
Here comes flats up, brooding up slowly. Choo-choo eyeballs, he was holy rolling. He got head down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please.
He got no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me.
He bad production, he got moments tumbled, he got oh no sideboard, he got spider cracker, he got feet down, low his knee. Hold you in his arms till you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me.
He roller coaster, he got early warning, he got muddy water, he won mojo filter, he said one and three. Got to be good looking 'cause he's hard to see.
Come together right now over me. Come together. Come together. Come together.